The following may contain mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is The Depths of Fel'Than, Episode 16. Love, Riddles, and Smooth Skin. Part A.
Did we level up to 4 by chance?
Not yet.
Not yet. We're on the threshold of 4.
I'm not.
I'm not.
4.
I'm about 900.
But a distant dream.
What is 4? 2.
26.
It's that number higher than 3, but less than some other number that I don't know because I'm a musician.
I'm gonna pick in the balls. And then you can at least count to, oh!
I can add the potato.
Potato, tomato.
Tomato.
I spent another $100 at IKEA today.
Oof.
I think that brings me right around $700 a month at IKEA.
Oof.
Don't feel bad. I spent $700 at Home Depot on Saturday.
That was for one plank of wood.
2x4 plywood.
To be fair, it could have been a lot more, but most of the stuff I bought was actually on sale.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Milwaukee M18 combo pack.
Oh, okay.
Circular saw, drill, driver, and I bought a grinder to go with it.
Oh, there you go.
$770 later.
Well, I mean, like, if you're going to make use of that stuff.
I just shanked my Visa, but okay.
More car trouble?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Windshield wipers.
Oh, God, well, there you go.
It's not a necessity. You put them on a string and just hang out the window.
Everybody thinks you're waving at them as you're driving down the road.
Are they gone or are they...
I can hear the motor spinning,
Oh,
but they don't raise at all.
Yeah.
Erilon's in-character excuse was for not being there was he actually ill in character too?
I think that was what you would come up with. He was ill or he was off doing some
I thought he was
task.
down in the mines training.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
went back down to the mine. We joked that you had jumped out of the window, which you did, fallen and hurt yourself, so you couldn't play. But then after that, the canon was you went down to the mine and hung around there. So, this week we're going to start in darkness. You can hear almost as if through a seashell, you can hear the ocean. You can hear it within the seashell kind of crashing. And then there's just a bit of light, and then it begins to rise more. And you see in front of you Tannith. You see in front of you this huge blue dragon. It's got these large icy spikes going down its back. Its wings are extended all the way out. You can see its claws kind of are mounted on 2 stony outcroppings. And it's looking down at you. And it roars this vicious dragon language, but you can hear it in your head. It says, Tannith, go north and drive the Anthron from their lands. Drive them to the sea. Now you hear this voice and you immediately tighten and you stiffen and you leap upwards. As you begin to take flight, you crash into water above you. When we flash to, again, you have the same sight, except you're looking over down upon this crystal calm water. You can see a reflection of yourself, your wings extended, flapping, gliding amongst the wind, this massive white dragon. As you fly across, you fly close to what the humans call the Eye of Karath, sticking out on the outcropping at the bottom on the northern side of the Karathian forest. We flash again to another scene of you flying over the Karavian forest. To your left and to your right, you can see other dragons sprawled out. Red, green, other whites, as you guys make your way south. We then flash to an icy landscape, a tundra barren of any trees, of any life whatsoever, except for these large stone and ice castles, these towers that reach into the sky. And you can see your dragon kin among them, ripping them piece from piece, throwing people from the towers, burning the towers out. Where you're perched upon one of these broken towers looking down, you can see the people moving, running, fleeing with whatever they could grab. They're bundled in robes of fur, and they're carrying boxes and what seems to be the smallest amount of gold and jewels that they can carry out. There's one more scene where you're flying again above this white, cold tundra. You can see the same party that has left the great city that you have now laid waste to. You can see them gathering on the shores of the ocean that you call, that your mother calls home. And there's only about half now than there was that fled before. You've been watching the numbers dwindle in the cold and the freezing as they got there. And they begin to make rafts and begin to wade into the sea and leave the land. Tannith, I'll get you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay. That's a solid 14.
Right. Now I'll get you to roll perception.
Ooh. Soft 20.
Okay, there you go. You sit up straight in bed, your breath stifled just for a moment. This thought, this dream that has gone through your head. It's be the third or fourth night in a row that you had this dream. After you drank that strange tea that Galus had prepared. And every day you've woken up with this terrible, terrible headache and just this inner feeling of instability.
I refeed you.
Should have drank that tea again.
Your door to your room is open. You look around. Your drawer to your bedside table is open. Your drawers, if you had anything in the dresser or the wardrobe that was there, is all open. Any personal items have been kind of moved around. You notice right off the bat something insignificant of yours, personal but insignificant, is gone. Something may have been sitting on the dresser that you've taken out of your pocket before you, whatever it is, you can make something up outside of game. But it's definitely missing. You also hear some scuffling.
What's that? Alright. I gotta get up.
Right. You get up, you go to the door.
Yes. After I grab my hammer.
Alright, you equip yourself. You go to the door. You look out in the hallway and you can see a dwarf in a kind of black cloak, covering in a black cloak, huddling out of one of the rooms, carrying a sack. He looks right at you, and you can hear his breath catch.
I'd drop that if I were you.
He begins to run towards the stairs.
As he runs, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I cast command.
DC of
10.
10, 11 on the dice.
I have really low DC jet for this.
I feel that.
It hurts.
You cast the spell. He kind of slows his step for a moment, you see, but then he keeps running and he makes it to the stairs.
I give chase as fast as I can.
Okay. So I'll get you guys run downstairs. You on the second floor. You notice as you're running by, all the room doors are opened. A couple of the windows have been smashed clean through, and you make it downstairs. You see down here also, the living room has been rolled over. Everything that was that could hold something has been emptied out. But you make it to the downstairs, and your prey is at the door.
Oh, I want to take him alive. So take another wisdom saving throw. Try command again. Drop
All
it.
weapons can do subdual damage, which knocks them out.
I am not the subdual type.
Just saying, it's an option.
And he's way over there.
Tannith does not choose. I'd say, yeah, you'd have to use a double move to catch up with him at this point.
Yeah.
But he does evade your attack again as he kind of shakes off the command spell that you were casting,
Damn it.
and he pushes outside the door.
Go after him again.
All right, he is now about 60 feet away from you. You move towards him again. You're gonna move your dash as well, catch up
Yes.
the whole way.
Get as close as I can.
You catch up right to his back. He is going to keep running. You have an attack of opportunity. He's running out of your attack range.
I will make a smashy on the back of his head with them all.
All right.
Doink. Go for a big bonk. Big bonk. No, not with a 9.
Total?
9 total.
9 total. Okay, you catch the cloak, and you can feel it tear through the cloak as it smashes then into the ground. And he moves 30 feet away from you, turns around, and holds out this bag in his hand, and he puts it on the ground. He says, I'm sorry, just take it. You can have it back, right? Just take it. And drops it on the ground and kind of tries to step away of his last 4 or 5 feet of movement.
Good. Go.
Given the chance, he runs off. Now that he opened up his coat, you can see he's wearing liveries of some sort of, perhaps a restaurant worker of some sort. You've been to enough restaurants in this particular area that they all kind of have the same cheer and style. And you let him run off.
I go over and get the bag.
Pick up the bag. It is the bag of salt. 8-pound bag of blue salt.
Yeah, I'm assuming this salt is expensive.
I don't think you got to roll on it yet.
No.
Roll religion on that one.
Religion? Ruh-roh. Oh no! Oh, that's a 7.
Well, he's definitely trying to steal it.
I don't know what this blue salt is, but it must be important.
They use salt sometimes in religious ceremonies and stuff. But that's as far
I think
as
I know this, but being a paladin, but I didn't really pay
Different
attention.
religion.
That's not my religion. My religion is killing. I'm like a Mandalorian. Weapons are part of my religion.
This is the way.
Well, violence is the way. Especially for Tannith. Bonk. Doing a big bonk with the hammer.
Bonk, send him to Gulag.
No gulag. Go to grave.
Alright, Tannith, so what are you gonna do?
Grab the salt and head back and see what else got rolled.
Okay. You see the upstairs for the most part. No, I suppose you guys had cleaned that up afterwards. My mistake. Those you guys had made a point to clean it up last time, so there wasn't much. There was definitely broken windows, and that, but it looked like the house had been recently cleaned anyway. My apologies, I forgot about that. Another thing too, I forgot way back. Your alias with the guy.
Hmm?
I had the dwarves show up and use your non-alias name. Sorry. Please continue, Tannith.
So I'll just do a quick inspection and just start making this place look like it hasn't been rolled. Is there anyone else here? Or am I alone in the building?
You were alone in the building.
You get grumpy when we try and wake you up for things.
Yeah, Erilon knows that firsthand.
Yeah, get out of my room!
Oh no.
A big dragon mark on his neck. Maybe if I wasn't such an asshole, people would stick around more often. Note yourself. Fix that.
Self-reflection.
You've come a long way, Tannith.
I'm still hungry though.
Roll perception.
Is there something here? Oh, that's a 7.
7. You hear the sound of grinding machinery, the odd bark or yell maybe of a command. Maybe it's Dwarven common, you're not quite sure. It's pretty far away at this point. It must be coming from the mine.
More likely. First thing I'm going to do is carry in salt, keeping it safe. For some reason, people want it. I'm going to go back to my room and put my chainmail back on.
Alright, sounds good. You,
I did not have that on me. Dude, just put all my gear back on. Because I'm awake
as you're walking by, you can see, even though they tried to clean up, there is a particular part when you walk by that the walls are splattered from ceiling to floor with this dark black stain.
I don't know who did this or what that is, but I appreciate the decor. Because that looks like blood spatter.
That's what it is.
Excellent. Something happened.
So, you put your chainmail on, you keep the salt on your person?
Yeah, I'll just tuck it in my belt. Inside the chainmail or wherever.
So the house is empty though. You can see the kitchen is shut down. There's some rolls left over. About it, but
I can snack on those. I'll grab a couple of them. Something to perk me up.
You're probably not feeding me in jail for anything.
there you go.
And I'll just find somewhere relatively comfortable to sit down and wait for people to get back.
Okay.
Not much else I can do.
Erilon,
Yes.
you have been down in the mine for most of the morning. After recently having that one guy jump out of the window and disappear into the ground with one of the Gretsch boys.
Yep.
And you feel that it's time to come back and see how everybody's doing.
Alright.
And lo and behold, you get there. There's more broken windows, more glass in places. Roll perception.
That was a 5 on the dice, so that is a 9.
Okay.
Chunk for the dice.
You definitely notice the windows, more windows are broken out of the manse.
More windows are broken out of the mass. That's about all I get.
That's pretty much it. There was a scuffle, but you don't really see much of the scuffle outside.
Kind of looks at that and just taps his quarterstaff on the floor, and he's looks around, and he just calls out, "Hello?
In here.
Tannith, is that you?
Surprisingly enough, yes, it actually is.
Why the hell are you alone in the manse? What happened? There's like more windows are broken, and
I woke up, someone had rolled the place, someone was in the middle of rolling the place, I chased them off, got this back, whatever the hell this is, and now here I am.
Erilon sees the blue salts, and he kind of like grabs the bag from underneath as he's holding it up, and I know what it is because I rolled well last time. These are the ceremonial salts that we were trying to sell to Geld and what was it? Pious Plate.
Gallon's Pious Plate.
And we were trying to sell these to Gell's Pious Plate yesterday. He just starts squinting. Did you happen to catch a look at who it was?
Some dwarf restaurant worker in a dark cloak. Caught them outside.
Roll, it just happened. You can give him well enough description. Roll history.
Would I get advantage for that because I was there,
I
possibly?
was just going to give you a history check.
History check? Right on.
Pretty low DC though. Love rolling dice with all the money in the dice check. It's like,
It's a 15.
15, yeah. From the description of his clothing, it seems to be Gallon's Pious Plate.
Alright, well, suppose you and I should go to Gell's Pious Plate and possibly get one of the guard as well.
We could get the guard. Because that's what normal people would do.
True, but...
Do I look normal to you?
Well, being a member of the Knights of Oros, I'm sure your word would probably have a little bit more sway over the city guard than mine.
Yeah. Go get some peons.
We'll just go get one guard just in case they need to make an arrest. Because,
Yeah.
you know, if anybody there matches the description. I believe when we were at Gell's Pious Plate, there was a dwarf that we were dealing with. And if you say he's a dwarf, then... Well, we'll see. We'll see. So,
In a city full of dwarves.
Erilon puts his quarterstaff on his back and just... kind of cracks his own neck and starts moving down the stairs. He looks back and says, "I don't like working at the mine."
I can imagine not. To be fair though, some days I'd almost rather break rocks than do what I have to do.
Indeed. Erilon holds the door open for the manse for Tannith.
You notice Erilon's muscles starting to bulge a little underneath, spilling out
Trying
a
to
little
hold the
bit.
door open.
No, it's
No longer struggling.
spilling out under there. Remember that guy in the mine told you he'd teach you the ways.
Yeah,
Oh, excellent.
he's a quick learner, but
You were fully trained in the ancient ways.
You can open doors,
Look at a lady now.
like many before you.
trained
If you'd only been trained in a new way, you might have stood a chance.
maybe he would have stood a chance.
Sounds like Severus Snape. Good job.
What is that?
Hello, Potter.
I was Lord Guru from Tranquil Bitch.
No, okay.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
You've been fully trained in the ancient ways.
So,
Like the
Erilon
rest.
will go to the little trolley, I guess, because that'd be the way to go back. Because he has that little badge.
Yep.
So he would flash that.
You get free pass for you and the people that are traveling with you.
Yep.
All right, and for any other travel up the way, Gallon's Pious Plate is on the 2nd district.
So we will want to stop a guard. Is there a guard anywhere at a posting that we can see? Maybe 2 guards, so we can just take one along.
You see a guard?
See a guard? Is there another guard across the way? Like kind of like 2? Or is
You
it
can
just
see
one?
that there's guards posted on specific doorways and guards walking around. They all appear to be mingling throughout the crowd. It's very, very busy. Up here, you got in District 1. You guys got on the tram and then got up to District 1. That's where you're at. You can see different people huddled around. Looks like performers on raised daises, playing instruments, doing feats of strength and feats of dexterity. So it looks like a pretty interesting stop, but perhaps not right now. You guys got business to take care of at the current moment.
It's kind of like a Cirque du Soleil kind of thing going on, eh?
In some of them just seem to be games, or so you do see one particular thing. There seems to be 7 or 8 barrels stacked and put on their side, and you see, you're not quite sure how many there are. You see the head of one, and then the feet of another. There's got to be at least 3, maybe 4 of these small gnomish people, and you can kind of hear the name on the crowd saying the Brothers Barrel. But you move on.
Yep. He admires the performance for about a moment, and then he walks up to the guard with Tannith. He looks to Tannith for a moment, just kind of craning his neck up at him, and he says, "Well, I think he might take a little bit more authority from you than me."
I don't really enjoy speaking to town guards, but
Are they above you?
Did you say that to Erilon?
no, that's in my head.
Okay.
I think just because they're here, they'd be all pious.
We're about like 15 feet away right now. So.
Well, yeah, I could have said it to you.
True.
Excuse me, sir.
You kind of walk in front of him. He's like, "Aye, oh, what do you want?" He's kind of looking over. "Oh, how can I help you?"
Attempted burglary. If maybe you could help me with that.
Erilon's standing behind them. He would have grabbed the bag of salt.
Yeah,
And
I'm in full gear at this point as well, so.
Yeah, he's kind of beside him, and he just adds, down at the Gretsch mine, there was a bit of a break-in in the manse, and holds up bag of salt. This was taken from the premises. It's one of our personal belongings, and we did manage to apprehend the person who did take it, but he points to Tannith. He did take a look at him.
It's a dwarf, dark cloak. Looked similar to one of the ones that, was it Gellard's or whatever the place is?
Gallon's Pious Plate.
Yeah, that's the one I didn't really pay attention to earlier.
As you guys are doing this here, you put the bag of blue salt in front of him. You hang that up, and he seems to be locked on the Brothers Barrel. He's just, you can see the words you're talking to him are just hitting him in the face, and he's just kind of looking past you guys at the Brothers Barrel. And he says, "Aye, the Pious Plate, 2nd District, that's you. I need to go up there."
Erilon just looks to Tannith, looks to the guard with a raised brow. "In case we need to arrest the thief, would you be willing to come with us?" He's just going to lean in, and he'll do a persuasion. Is that? See? No, it's not top. Okay. All right, that is going to be a 14 persuasion.
His attention wavers from the Brothers Barrel, and he looks at you guys now. He says, "Arrest? What do you mean arrest somebody? Yeah, who do you have in
You'll
mind?"
hear from behind him as he's not paying attention. Maybe you should have paid attention the first time.
Roll intimidation, please. Ooh, for you and the 12 other people around him.
Erilon jumps.
Natural one.
It just comes out as a burp.
Yeah.
They all run away.
Somebody just underneath.
That's hilarious. He kind of takes a step or two back and says, "Aye, watch your vices and where they're going. If you need help with Pious Plate, you have to go to District 2 and form a guard on that district. I've got nothing to do with District 2. I have much more on my hands to deal with down here than I do up there. So thank you very much."
Is this guard a dwarf?
Yes.
Okay. Erilon will just nod and pat him on the shoulder and just say, in Dwarven, "Thank you for your time. Have a nice day."
Aye. Kind of waves his hand off.
Enjoy the circus.
Just kind of looks at you and shakes his head.
The amusing thing is, I'm like 2.5 feet taller than he is.
You just look up, all you see is just a giant dragon staring down at you.
Just
Well,
up his nose.
That natural one was great.
It's just perfect.
So we'll make our way up to District 2 then.
Okay.
Flash the badge to whoever asks.
To be fair, let's see. You guys do not see anybody to flash any badges to. You get up to the second district. You open the doors to this one. Not as busy as the first. Still fairly busy with travelers back and forth, but it's not shoulder to shoulder like it was in the first district. You get up here and you open the door, and immediately you see two of the guard run by.
Two of the guards running by
Two of the guards run by. And to your left, you can see another one approaching, running as well.
Jeez. Any other guards apart from those? Just checking to see if I got called. Okay.
Roll perception.
Perception, okay.
I shall roll perception as well.
That is a 21.
Yeah.
Nice.
16.
16. Yeah, you can see there is a set of stairs that go up between two. One seems to be a butcher shop, the other seems to be a cobbler. Between there seems to be two stairs that go up. There seems to be two guards on duty at the end of those stairs that go into the rock face.
Gotcha.
And the rest seem to be running by, right by Geln's Pious Plate and around. If you stop and you watch them for about a minute or two, they kind of run up and they look around. They're definitely looking for somebody, for something. And they confer with a few other guards. A few other guards run off, and
As that one guard's running by, I'll like sort of signal to him, "Guardsman, what's going on?"
Aye. He looks at you. We're looking for somebody. Looking for a thief. And he holds up this black cloak and a bunch of daggers, and he says, he's been running around, thieving from people.
Well, that's damn convenient. We're looking for him too.
Or so you think.
Maybe the cloak is recognizable, possibly?
Does the cloak look familiar?
No. It's as far as dark black
It's a
cloaks
black
go.
cloak.
And a thief definitely owns that cloak.
It's archetypical.
There you go.
Jeez.
But he says, you've seen him too, the slim dragonborn fella.
Not the one I'm looking for.
Another thief.
I'm looking for a dwarf.
Looking for a dwarf. What are you doing up here?
Well, he works over there. And I'll point at Geln's, whatever the hell is his name.
Yeah, he breached the premises of the Gretsch Mines Manse while it was rather unattended. This soldier of the Knights of Oros was the only one present on the grounds, and
Tried to steal that bag of salt.
he just holds it up.
Probably like, what the fuck's so special about the bag of salt? Yeah, but they don't know that. They just say bag of salt.
Yeah. A very large bag of salt, but
The guard looks at you and he says, and what do you be doing with all of that?
Well, we ended up getting it, and we're mostly just trying to return it, and possibly, just hanging on to it for the time being.
You didn't answer my question. Now he puts his hands on his hips and he says, you'll be telling me what you're doing with all of that. You, with the Knights of Oros, give you another history.
That's not good. Oh, 9.
Okay.
He will look
just
at the
know.
guard, and he'll say, "It's ceremonial salt."
I know what it is. And I know if you're running around with that much of that, you're in trouble. No wonder if someone tried to steal it from you.
Yep, and that's why we're trying to return it to the central temple.
Well, you'd best be going.
But we want
No.
to catch the thief who did this first, so that we can get that sorted out. Get
And
the person.
there's other things missing as well.
Yeah, one of his. Let's see, yeah, I wouldn't know that.
It's you would have, traveling with Tannith, as long as you would have seen a silver amulet that he wears around his neck
I'll roll
in
perception. to see
the
if I
shape of a
notice
dragon claw.
that. Yeah, I rolled a 15 for
And
perception.
it's noticeably absent.
Yeah. So he just kind of he noticed that earlier, and he gestures to Tannith's neck, trying to keep his finger away, and he says a silver pendant that was on his person did get stolen as well, and that has not been returned. So this is one thing. That's another that does need returning. Hopefully as soon as possible. And if we have a hunch as to who it would be, because we had dealings with this person previously yesterday at Gel's Pious Plate, and it seems to kind of match what Tannith saw. And we're just trying to get that resolved as quickly as possible. So,
all right. Roll persuasion, please.
Sure.
Can I assist to give advantage?
You can, absolutely.
Excellent.
22.
Okay, perfect. You roll pretty high too. He says, all right, and he holds up, and he looks around, and it seems to be most of the guards have kind of slowed down. Nobody's running around with as much vigor as perhaps whoever was away has gotten away. And he says, all right, it's Gel's Pious Plate is over there. We'll go and you can ask your questions, and then we'll get on with it. As you're going, one of the other guards stop by, and they say, "Can't find him, sir. Must have went away in the back alleys where the housing is." He nods his head and then waves him off, and you guys go into Gel's Pious Plate.
On the way, Erilon does mention, or ask rather, so this Dragonborn thief that you're looking for, what was he? Just petty thievery or something more?
Well, it's actually just a point of principle. He didn't want to pay the fee. Threatened one of the guards coming up the stairs. Now, I mean, it's only a minor fee to pay to come up the stairs, but if you don't pay it, you have to come and see us.
Of course.
He didn't pay the toll.
But more so, he
has been accused of thievery.
Yeah, when I was chasing after you guys, just to
Yeah,
try
I just
and,
like clued in when you said that. I'm like, that was you.
yeah, I just tried to intimidate the guard to jump over the stile, but failed miserably on my intimidation check.
Furthermore, he evaded arrest once questioned about his motives, and that's a much bigger fine than just not paying the fee to get to the second district.
Stands to reason.
Yeah.
So, Erilon and Tannith and this guard will end up getting to Pious Plate, and he'll open the door for the both of them.
Door opens. You guys walk in. It smells great in here. The spices permeate the air. It is beautiful. It's like walking in Tannith. It's a very, very familiar smell. You kind of look around and kind of think you should see Nani walking out of the kitchen at this particular moment.
Do I know she's in jail?
No.
No, you're not.
This is a very recent happening.
Let's keep it that way.
And you guys approach the little stand. The man in charge, I believe he was an elf at the time.
I believe so.
I'm terrible with races, it's so bad. And he says, well, how can I help you, fine gentleman, today?
Looking for one of your employees.
I see. Well, who? Would you have a name?
Don't quite have a name, but he's a dwarf.
Dwarf looks like a dwarf. I didn't really get a good look at his face.
Now, granted, that may not narrow it down given the environment we're in, but to be fair,
Who's not here right now?
Did you just tell them that all their people look the same?
Erilon is
Yes, the elf is very racist.
He's unintentionally. He's just that's the nobility kicking in, but from Brel.
All
So-
you look the
Ruh-roh.
same.
So
All you short people.
least-
peasants look the same. Get out of my sight.
it was entirely sugar coated, but at the same time.
Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice
I am
I
willing to
will
make.
make.
So
He
What is that
he
from?
says,
Shrek.
well, we have several employees that aren't here at the moment also,
I see.
but I don't know how much I can help you.
Well,
Have any of them been accused of theft in the past?
Well, not that I'm aware of. We keep a very high esteem to our customers. So we must keep the most secure of employees, of course.
Well, one of your employees just tried to rob me.
I don't believe you.
You do wear very, what's the word?
Unique.
Specific uniforms?
They are.
The dwarf that tried to steal that bag of salt
He just pats it on his belt.
possibly stole my amulet and several other items, not but, 2 hours ago?
Due to the travel time, probably not too long ago.
Roll insight. Erilon with advantage. Tannith without.
Insight 22.
22.
10.
10? Okay.
You're struggling tonight.
With the 10,
Switch this D8 out.
you can see the man's eyes pass over the bag of salt unwaveringly, without any warrant. Erilon, you see when his eyes pass over, you can kind of see his breath kind of catch and his neck kind of tighten, just slightly.
And Erilon looks back to the guard.
Who didn't see anything, by the way.
And Erilon looks back to the guard and just looks to Tannith. Just stay here a moment and tell him, he points to the elf, tell him a little bit more about what's been happening. I'm just going to go talk to the guard. And he'll turn back and he'll take the guard by the shoulder out the door.
Okay.
And he'll say,
This is bad cop routine. Prepare yourself, Tannith.
so he'll say to the guard, that elf was definitely responsible. I was eyeing him.
He's familiar to you. He's the same guy you guys dealt with before.
Yeah, it's the same exact person we were dealing with yesterday. We were, context is not important. We were just trying to sell them some spices. That's about it. But he was the person that we were dealing with yesterday. And he was looking at the salt, and he just breath caught, and he looked away as soon as that was done. So he's more than likely the one responsible now. Perhaps he's a bit short. He's a bit short for an elf, wasn't he?
Think so. Go with that.
Okay, so he's short in stature, so it's easily mistakable for a dwarf, especially if there was a cloak. I would like him to be questioned, if possible.
He kind of looks around, scratches his head.
Erilon holds out 20 gold.
Bribing the guard.
Bribe the guard to do his job.
Bribery.
I understand it's a bit of a inconvenience for your time, but
Roll it.
oh, Jesus! Oh, careful!
Doesn't count.
It's like, Dad, it
In
was
the
a
box.
20.
We really appreciate it, but with a 10, probably not. Persuasion.
He looks at you
Accidentally
and
hands him a
says,
copper.
20 copper. Oh, shit.
20 copper. I accidentally pulled out copper coins. He looks-
on
That's like 2 beer.
the street with hundreds of people walking by, you pull out a bag of gold in front of a store to one of the guard.
That's
He puts his hand on yours and pushes it away rather vigorously.
yep.
And he says, I appreciate the sentiment, but here in the likes of the Shears, we don't particularly react well to bribery like over there in Brell. So,
Understandable.
I would say this is a bit fishy. We'll go back in and maybe ask a few questions, but you're running on short time. Go in. You got your 5 minutes.
So he'll head back in, and was Tannith just standing there the whole time?
That's right, yeah. So you're there. At this point, we're going to switch to somebody else, actually. Delkick,
Jesus.
you see these three come in. You hear everything. It's not a big enough place where you're not going to hear everything. You can hear them question the maitre d', and you can see two of them go outside. Tannith, now what does he see?
Me?
Yeah, do you talk to the maitre d'? He's just kind of standing there, looking at you.
I'm just gonna try and look scary, really. Like I don't want. Well, I look scary anyway.
I mean, yeah.
Passive intimidation.
Except to non.
Okay, roll.
I'll just be like,
Intimidation.
I'll be like drumming my fingers on the top of my maul.
Okay.
Intimidation? Uh-oh. Come on, another dice. Oh no.
Oh no.
That's a 5.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
That-
you are not having good luck
That
today.
really messed him up.
I am all screwed up.
Little
Yes.
off the
I'm
game.
gonna have to switch dice out. This is getting ridiculous.
Jeez. That was literally, you know what? That's where I was sitting last week. Maybe it's just, or the last time we
Cursed
played.
spot.
Maybe it's a cursed spot.
There you go.
Could be Chris Kale. That was the thing.
Oh,
That's
Here you go. You'll be okay.
Instead of Curse of Strahd.
Yeah. Curse of sofa.
No, Chris Kale.
Yeah, my dice aren't that good. They were last week.
Your crystal
No,
dice
you-
are ridiculous.
You used to absorb everyone else's luck for all your nat 20s that you were rolling.
Oh
When I
man.
was just a player back in the day, or for when we were
Like
When we first started
a couple months
playing
ago
and
with your,
when you
with your
were-
crystal dice.
that doesn't happen anymore. That,
Good.
I've lost
Thankfully.
that special feat.
Oh man.
Ultra lucky. No longer in Pokemon.
Yeah, ultra lucky.
He rolled 7 nat 20s when he was
I
DMing
know.
against us.
What?
Yeah, that's right. That was a big night.
Oh
That
man.
was a big night. A lot of combat though. A lot of combat that night.
Gross.
Yeah, it was cut relatively short.
I can imagine that.
Good times. Good times. So, in Gellon's Pious Plate, Tannith, you're standing there just kind of looking at the guy, drumming your fingers on his,
On the head of my wall.
on the head of your maul. Get your roll perception while you're in here.
Oh god. Oh. It's above 10. Yeah, it's a 15.
Okay.
DC 28.
What? Whoops.
Oops.
So, what was the total on that again?
15.
15? Okay, sounds good. And you guys come back into the Gellon's Pious Plate. Erilon and the unnamed guard.
Erilon just lets out a little sigh under his breath, and he looks to the elf, and he's just kind of squinting at him. Like he's not trying to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
He blinks and just stretches for a moment. Well, so just a couple of questions. He offers his hand to the elf just as just a gesture. And he just lays it down on his side. So
Kind of looks at your hand as
he's just kind of like this, sort of.
So hold my
Sorry,
hand
Mrs.
while I speak to you.
I wanna
Homer.
it's our custom.
Yeah, exactly. He just takes a step in and just, near the maitre d', and he just says, "Well, the main thing I'm wondering here is just when did you start working today? Out of curiosity."
Well, the morning like everybody else around here. Gives you some number of the day. It was early though.
Sure. Is he lying? Well, insight.
Roll insight.
Oh no, that's a 10.
He does not appear to be lying.
Doesn't appear. Oh, no, that was a 9 on the dice. It's 13, but it's a 13. But regardless, so he's not being deceitful.
Channel divinity, conquering presence.
That I can tell.
Just because he's
He needs to
started
make a
at
wisdom
12
saving throw.
doesn't mean he's been there the whole time.
DC 10.
13 on the dice. Does that involve a vocal component?
Channel divinity.
Okay, what is it?
As an action, force chosen creatures within 30 feet to make a wisdom saving throw, or they become frightened for 1 minute.
Oh.
Okay, we'll count that as your kind of intimidation, your stare down thing. Okay, but
That's not working.
it's not working. No.
You lost your mojo with that tea.
What did you do to me?
I roofied you.
Clearly.
She poisoned the entire group.
Ruh-roh.
Is the guard still behind me?
Yep. He's a little bit further behind now, though, kind of separating himself, just observing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And he does look. He does look to Maitre D, and he just says, "It's a bit difficult going down to the Gretsch mine, and coming back up. It's quite a long journey. It's a bit tedious, but
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't venture down there much often. As I believe we spoke a few
Yesterday.
days ago. Yesterday, as you sold me all of those wonderful spices, and attempted to sell me this rather large bag of salt, which I most certainly refused." He looks back at the guard.
he doesn't really respond to that, but he just says, "Yes, I'm sure the spices did help. I can smell them. They smell wondrous." However, of course, he pats the bag of salt yet again. This was taken from the premises of the Gretsch mine, and still, all we're looking for is answers, and based on what my colleague here saw, led us to here. So, if you do know anything, or have any employees who are not working currently, we would like to have words with them at some point.
Well, I can't give you their locations to go find them, but you're
course not.
more than welcome to come back periodically and check, of course. Delcac, roll perception.
Perception. Ooh, now we're talking. This is already starting off on a nice note. That is perception. That is in 19.
Okay. Delcac and Tannith, you guys see a head pop over where there's an open gap to where the kitchen is. You can kind of see in back where the chefs are doing their work. You can see a familiar dwarven face poke his head up above there and look towards your group, Tannith. You see it. Delkic, you just see a dwarf poke his head up.
Mhm.
But looking at the front where there's obviously a guard and a knight of Oros.
Mhm.
And with that perception,
Yep.
now you notice, you kind of take a peek back, as I guess your back may have been turned. These are some of the people indicative that you have to find, especially this rather large dragonborn.
Yes.
And I don't, from my angle, I can't see this dwarf.
No, or I'll get you roll perception too.
Sure.
I just figured you were going to be kind of busy with the maitre d'.
Say 17.
17. You do see the elf or the dwarf pop his head up, but
It's just a dwarf.
Just a dwarf.
just a dwarf to you. I don't think. Yeah, you weren't close enough last time when you seen him
Yep.
to see his any sort of face, but you do pop. He does pop up and look at you guys and then pop back down.
Okay, couldn't get a read on his
See
face,
if,
nothing.
Nope.
Alright. And so he casts a glance over and looks back to the maitre d'. Well, if you do know anything, we will be back to investigate things further, but for the time being, thank you for your time. Apologies if we caused any inconvenience.
Aye, it was much of an inconvenience. My time. Looks around, trying to look for an excuse. And then says, "Well, be off with you then. And you too." He looks at you, Tannith.
Erilon turns tail and looks at the guard, and he just kind of
Are you satisfied?
he just shakes his head as he goes out of the building. And he, after the door closes, he looks back to the guard. Something fishy's going on. There's no doubt about it.
There is something fishy going on. Why, an elf and a knight of Oros are trying to sell a bag of blue ceremonial salt to Geln's Pious Plate. That's pretty fishy.
Well, initially we did not know what it was, and we're identifying it. I'm going to take it back to the temple.
Decisions made in ignorance.
Yeah, I think you should just let this go for now. You don't want too many eyes upon you.
Well, if by any means possible, would I be able to file some sort of report to have this further investigated? Do you have like a field office, I suppose?
We do.
Where would that be, out of curiosity?
You had he does gestures to where those two guards that you seen, just up there.
Okay, I see.
Officer Windheim.
Officer Windheim.
Tell them what happened, everything you said, and if it doesn't correlate with what I've seen, well, we'll be coming to find you.
Of course.
To fix things up. And
Absolutely.
if you're going to do something with that salt, do with it fast.
He just nods. And your name, just in case they need a referral.
I told you my name. That's all you need.
Okay. Officer Windheim. Okay.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you for your patience, and have a nice day.
He kind of looks at you. He nods at you, Erilon, doesn't say anything. He looks at you, Tannith, as he kind of
I'll just
walks
nod at him.
and as he kind of walks by, you nod at him. You guys just have this kind of stare off as he keeps going. He
So
shakes his head, and you guys can see in the distance, and walks off.
we'll start heading off to the little field office there, and Erilon will take the little bag of salt and put it in his little sack.
Little bag?
Yeah.
8 pounds.
Oh, it's
a
an
day,
8
buddy.
pound. It's an 8. Oh,
It's like a small child.
It's a big boy. Okay.
Yeah.
He does have a sack on his back, like a backpack.
Yep.
But
You can tell
he'll slide it in there.
Yep.
Oh,
But-
jeez.
As we're walking, I'll sort of lean down to him. He's in the kitchen.
What do you mean he's in the kitchen? You
The
saw
dwarf. He's in the kitchen.
that? You didn't say anything while we were in there. Well, then he just kind of
That guardsman is useless.
more than evidence, for sure.
So, let's do our fancy let's go do the report, get it done and over with, make it look like we're just doing our part, and then we can wait out back.
So if that did the dwarf see you?
Did he see me? Did he see me see him?
You're not sure? He looked in your direction, definitely.
All I know is he
For-
looked in my direction.
Seeing that I've
I'm
seen
not exactly hard to
that. Yeah, you're a dragonborn.
recognize.
Well, if he's the one that stole the goods, or you know what I mean. If he's the one who tried to steal the goods, then obviously he's not going to want to stick around.
Frankly, I don't know if he didn't. I don't know if he saw me. He might have, but I didn't see him panic.
But if he's the exact same dwarf, then you're going to want to assume that he did.
Yeah.
So
So you go do that.
I'll do the report. That'll be fine.
I'm gonna go out back of there and just sort of wait.
Yeah, good idea.
So, you've seen these guys leave.
Yep.
What did you want to do?
So what I was going to say was where I saw the dwarf and him kind of do his little pop up, pop down. I'm going to infer that, like, okay, they're looking for him, but he's like, oh shit. So I'm going to try and let's see how well my stealth goes this time. I'm going to try and
into the kitchen.
I'm going to sneak into the kitchen and see if I can find this dwarf. That's an 8. Nat 1 on the die plus the bonus. I failed miserably.
As
my
you
So you don't
God.
sneak into the kitchen.
I don't sneak at all. I just
as you stand up from your table.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to use my dice of inspiration on that. Please oh, god damn it. That was too perfect to not happen.
No, you don't get to use your dice of inspiration.
Womp,
Yes,
womp.
Oh my god!
What are the fucking chances?
What is the
Holy
count?
shit.
That's
No, go ahead.
that's
Oh, man. I was like, there we go. That's better. That was a 23.
You vanish from existence as you float down the stairs.
At 23, you stand up and kind of glide through the tables. Doesn't seem to be anybody surfing at the particular moment. The maitre d' has his back turned to you, looking at the door. It seems to be opening. Maybe there's a customer coming in. You make it to the door of the kitchen.
Perfect.
It's one of the swing in, swing out doors.
Okay. So yeah, in that case I will. Like I said, I'm going into the kitchen to try and find this dwarf.
Okay, you enter into the kitchen. It is busy. There's easily 12 employees.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way you're going to get through here unseen, but you have got inside unseen.
Yes.
So, a few heads pop up from what they're doing, and they look at you. There's a few Dragonborn in the back and a few dwarves as well. One comes up and it says, "Hey, what are you doing in here?" He's got a big knife in his hand.
You know what? I will just. I'm part of the new help. We'll see what happens.
Roll deception.
Please, for the love of God.
Never seen a kitchen in his life.
Probably not. Hold on. So that was persuasion.
Deception.
Oh, deception. Excuse me. So that was a 10.
10? 13 on the dice.
Damn it!
And he looks you up and down and he says, "Aye, with gear and garb like that, you're going to be working in my kitchen. Go on, get out."
He just kind of says, "All right, listen. One of your workers has something to do with somebody down from one of the mines. He's needing to be taken in for questioning."
Aye, is that so? I don't know what to... Perhaps just come with me for a moment.
Oh, I'm toast. I'm fucking toast.
New meat pie special.
New meat dragonborn pie. Yep. All right.
Aye, this way. Come on now. Come on then. If you're serious.
All right. Well, let me. You know what? I'm gonna try and just see. Which way is he pointing? Is it like further into the kitchen or
It's further into the kitchen.
further into the kitchen? Okay.
Where the oven is.
Where the oven is. Yeah.
It's gonna hand
You
someone
can
right
insult
away.
I
to
will-
see if he means to harm.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Got a insight. That was 15 on for an insight check.
15? He's not being completely honest, but you can't really gather all that much.
Well, this is obviously not going to do me any good. Talking to you is about as engaging as talking to a brick wall. And he's just he's gonna dash it. He realizes he's not gonna get anywhere. So he's gone.
Roll perception.
23.
23.
Or actually, sorry, hold on, sorry. No, that's just a dirty 20.
Okay, close enough.
Still high. Are you
Away.
are you running out?
No, I'm running
back?
in.
No, you're running in. Okay.
So like, I came in through the swinging door into the kitchen, and I'm going out the back door.
Okay.
Because obviously I know there's law enforcement out in the front, so I don't want to be out there.
No.
Kind of surprised the guard didn't notice you while standing there.
Really though?
Well, you were up in the restaurant.
Yeah.
It was up in the restaurant. I think like on a little bit up the stairs.
No, I say it was all one level, but there's a bit of a walkway in that's kind of walled off. I imagine it kind of like an old style Chinese restaurant where they always had an entrance.
Like camp.
I actually haven't been there in a very long time, so I can't even remember.
Oh,
There's
dude.
always
I love cow. They're so good.
There's always an entrance, like a fireplace, or the scenery, or there's some water. There's always a thing. And you guys didn't go past there, and the guard specifically wasn't back the second time. So that kind of
lucky.
happened.
I got
really
incredibly lucky.
You were behind the privacy screen.
So going back, as you try to cut to the right hand side, that kind of has rows of countertops, 2 of them, and you can kind of go right. He's a rather large man, taking up the one aisle, so you cut right, and you can run about 15 feet, and there's another aisle that goes down towards the back end.
Let's book her.
You make it with a move action to the very back end, and you look to your left and right, roll perception.
That's a 12.
There are 2 doors, one to your right, one to your left.
Doors.
Door number 1
It says oink.
It's
is
solid.
closed.
Does nobody get
Door
that
number
reference?
2 is open. Door number 2, you look inside, there seems to be boxes. You can see the doors open and someone's holding it open with their foot and they're dipping down into a big cauldron or a big container and they're filling up a smaller one with seems to be flour, maybe oats, you're not quite sure. But it seems to be small and not very well lit.
Okay.
The other door is closed.
Well, since as looking like that seems to be a bit of a storeroom type idea, let's go right.
Okay, so you go up to the door and from behind you, you can see at this point the other guy makes his move and kind of pins you into this kind of 5-10 foot hallway where the door is, but you make it to the door anyway, and he's got a smile on his face.
You're done for.
It's now your turn. You open the door?
Yep.
You touch the door handle and it's immediately cold. You open it. It slides open with ease. You look inside and it looks to be some sort of freezer.
Wonderful. Alright.
Trapped in the walk-in.
Trapped in the walk-in, yeah. You know what? Let's see what I can do here.
This is going to be fun.
It is, and that's why I love this. Like I said, I got to think on my feet now.
It's easy for me. I just hit things.
Yeah, you see, I can't do that. I have to be sneaky. Is there a lock on the door at all?
Nope.
You're gonna lock yourself in prison.
Well, no, because that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because if there's a lock on it, I was going to try and like rig it so that I could, even if he tries to lock me in, I could get out. But given that there is a freezer, yeah, we're gonna have. That's not going to go well for a dragon type, cold-blooded and all.
Unless you're a white dragon.
Well, yeah, you see, that's not what I am. I'm green.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh you. Little green man.
Little green man, indeed. So is it just the 2 doors, or is there like a window above me or anything, or is it just
2 doors.
Okay. You know what? I think what I am going to do is I'm going to make it. I'll roll this as a sleight of hand. I guess, possibly. I'm going to try and make it look like I'm going to go in to see if I can force him to follow me, and we'll see where it goes.
Roll deception.
Deception. Alright, yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? That's a 15.
15. So, as you open the door and make a motion to go in. And I guess you hold your move action to see what he does. He does try to follow you in the direction that you're going in. And I'm going to say I'll give him disadvantage on his attack because he rolled very low.
Okay.
I'm trying to see that.
Oh, no.
So as you do try and get by, he will still swing at you.
Yep.
Okay. As he swings, the blade catches the stone wall and it just scrapes down the side as you duck underneath his arm and move out of his range. Move out of his range still?
Yep.
Okay.
So since I know that now this is a back door and there's really nowhere for me to go, at this point I guess the only way out is through the front door. So, are there any like loose uniforms hanging around?
The aprons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
Seems to be one. It's seems to be fairly soiled, but it is hanging up there.
Okay. I will grab that. And are there any on those tables? I'm assuming that's where the finished food is going, right?
You see it's in different stages. The finished food is at the start, is where you come in at the door, and the uncooked is where You are right now.
Oh no!
Okay.
You're gonna jump on the assembly line, you dick.
No, so
Those
what I'm
poor
gonna do
line
then,
cooks.
I'm gonna throw this apron on, go up to the finished food, and grab a couple of plates and make it look like I'm walking out.
Okay, so you move. You get to You move. You get to the apron and the hat. You put the apron and the hat on. You move to the table. By this point, the other guy has gotten back up to you, and he's used his move actions to catch up to you. But he does kind of put the blade around your neck. And it's your turn.
Hot food, I'm assuming?
Yes. It is a...
One plate, backwards into his face.
Okay, roll an attack.
Steak.
A waste of good food.
Right. I guess that would be a strength, I guess, probably.
An attack. It's a...
Okay, it's just
Yeah,
7.
generally the strength.
Yeah, it'd be a 7.
7. That's
Failed
it?
miserably.
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm like I
He's
said,
just-
I'm done. Like, this
He's
character's toast.
literally just no arm or nothing, so it's like DC 10.
Roll for ravioli damage.
That's fantastic.
Ah,
So, it's just the wrong shoulder.
yeah,
The wrong shoulder.
It was the angle.
yeah, the angle. Just,
Still got your move action.
all right, yeah. Well, since at that point, yeah, just either way, cover's blown, so screw it. Just full on bonus action. I'm just dashing. Just
Okay, so he's going to get an attack of opportunity, and that's going to be a 13.
just under 14 for the AC.
Go. So you can feel his fingertips kind of grab at the back. He grabs onto the smock and pulls. The smock rips and tears, and it rips off, but you get away from him.
All right.
And you make it to the door, to the lobby. To the
lobby?
dining area.
All right.
Run for your life.
Well, same thing. Let's do it. Just
So, roll, since you're only wearing your hat now,
yeah.
are you still trying to play off?
No, that's
Okay.
just long gone. Just again, he's realized like even if he gets out there, Buddy will be hot on his heels. He'll be made either way. So just screw
Okay,
it.
sounds good. So you run out. You can see the door bursts open. You can see the maitre d's off to the left-hand side talking to some customers. As you run by, he doesn't actually catch you. He kind of turns his body, but you're just out of vision the entire time as you're running. And you run out and you burst out through the front doors.
Perfect.
Just as you, Tannith, and Erilon finish your conversation, you see this. Now, explain to them what they see.
Okay. So all you see is this frantic, like he's like I said to you earlier, he's very short for a salamander like dragonborn. He's only about 5'6", 5'7", really slim, wearing dark leather armor with just like no tail. So he's almost kind of a ravenite, but he's still like more salamander in appearance overall. And he just looks incredibly pissed off that he has screwed this up so royally from day one.
And he's wearing a chef hat.
No, I threw the chef hat as I was going out the door.
Upon seeing this, Tannith will instantly have a name for you.
Oh?
Yes, you'll find out.
Oh no.
So does he look? He looks really rattled then, and he just burst out of the door.
Oh, he's like I said, he's just like, oh, because I mean, stealth is kind of his thing. He's been training,
Allegedly.
yeah, and so he's just like, he's like, damn it, and he's just kind of cursing and muttering under his breath, and he's like, the gods have cursed me today.
Erilon doesn't notice you. He just rolled a nat 1 of his perception.
You're facing the other
I'm
way.
facing the other way.
Well,
So
there we go.
I just hear a little commotion. I'm like, oh, whatever. Tannith will deal with it.
Tannith will kill him.
Somebody say murder. That's my specialty.
Murder is my speciality.
Erilon just, he just pauses for a moment, looks over his shoulder, sees a dragonborn and a dragonborn. Whatever. Anyway, he starts moving towards the direction that Officer Wendown told him, and he just 5 feet, just for the time being, he just takes a couple steps.
Tannith, would you roll for perception? Or did I get you to roll? You did. Oh, sorry, you rolled and I thought you both rolled. Yeah, please roll.
I rolled autonomous.
Oh no, that's a 2. Look for a natural 1.
You guys just wrapped up in your conversation.
Yeah. We're still talking to what's in
Apparently
space.
you are good at stealth.
Either that or they're just bad at noticing things.
We're just
A little bit of
idiots.
both.
So we'll paint the picture, Delkek.
Yep.
You burst out of Gell's Pious Plate. You shut the door behind you. You look around. Your two targets are 10 feet away from you. Just saying goodbye to this guard.
Oh, that one that... Oh, man. How close is the nearest piece of cover?
Define cover.
So, anything...
further.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
Honestly,
what do you-
give me an alleyway.
There's an alleyway. Oh, there's an alleyway immediately 20 feet to your right-hand side.
That's where I'm ducking.
And that's the
Roll
way that I'm
perception.
going.
Perception, that is... 18. Or,
18.
sorry, no, excuse me. 15.
Okay, so you kind of huddle into the crowd, try and fit in. You start to walk that way, and you get close towards it, and you realize that there's two guards on duty here, guards on post for this particular walkway. What do you do?
Still, we are going to try and... I don't have my cloak right now. So, I'm just going to have to look for the nearest exit that will get me away from those guards. Because the last thing I want to do is run into 3 of them. What I'm going to say, is there anything else nearby that I can duck into? Like another building that's
There's
open?
other
or...
shops. There's a dozen different shops: cobblers, butchers,
College? Okay.
woodworking shops, anything like that.
Okay. Let's just whatever. I will leave it to your discretion. Whatever the closest shop is, I will basically just try and as casually as humanly possible, well, without getting noticed. Humanly, yes. Notice. I'm just kind of and pop in there and
You
plan where I need to go.
Into this very small shop. The door was kind of short, not even made for Dragonborn. Seems to be only a dwarf could fit through here. And you got to crouch just a little bit while you're in there, and you look around. You can smell this wonderful smell of tobacco and different other herbs and that. And you can see a dwarf sitting in a chair. The room is only about 30 by 30. And he's sitting over there in a chair just smoking this great big pipe, and there's these pipes all over the wall, and there's these jars all over the table on this side. And he says, "Hi, welcome."
Good day, sir. How are you?
Very well.
Excellent.
And then we're going to cut back to these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys are going to head up to the to that station.
Yeah.
Erilon was going to head that way.
I was gonna head that
go
way.
back to the restaurant.
Okay.
And then he didn't notice the. He didn't
This all
notice
happened
the
as we're
breakthrough.
still walking with Officer Windy Face.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So you continue up the stairs. First off, Tannith, this is going to happen. You're going to head back around, and you're not going to really find a back to this place. You'll follow the line of restaurants and stores all the way up to where you came in from the stairs, and you do find a set of stairs, but it goes up to a place where it seems to be living areas.
It's just like wall behind these restaurants.
Yeah,
They're built
Stone
into the
wall.
wall.
They're just built into the wall.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Well, there goes that plan. I'll just wait out front then.
Okay, so Erilon, you head up the stairs. It's not too far off. You can see a sign where there's stairs that go up, stairs that go left. You take the one on the right-hand side.
Is there a guard on the little an intersection here?
Of course, there can be a guard there, yeah, if you want to talk to him.
He'll just say like, "Excuse me, guard. I was directed to the little field office for the guards. Is it this way or that way?"
Aye. He nods this way to the right-hand side.
He just waves and pats him on the shoulder as he goes by, just gently, saying, "Have a nice day," in Dwarven.
So you pat him on the shoulder and he just kind of looks at you with a squinted face and you move on.
Elves are strange.
Especially the rich ones.
Doesn't say thank you, just says have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
And you go into the to the guard station.
All right. Is this like a jail type situation, or is it just
Well,
like a?
what you can see is you walk into this circular room. In the middle, there's this kiosk. Also, it's a half circle of table, and there's someone standing behind there, a female dragonborn, and you can see 4 different doors around, and that's what you see. You see there's ferns
growing in different areas and potted plants and.
There's like a half desk with a dragonborn.
Yep.
Okay. He'll look around the place. Any doors that he can see?
Yep, 4 doors.
4 doors. Okay.
Yep,
All
seem
closed.
to be. Yeah, they're all closed. They seem to be all evenly spaced in the circle.
So, Erilon walks up to the dragonborn, just nods, and in Draconic, of course, because he's like that.
Likes to flex like that.
Yeah, he's it's the stupid nobility in him coming out at the worst times. But he says, "Hello, I'm Erilon. I'm just looking to file a report for an investigation into a potential thievery."
All right, dear. I'll be there in 1 minute with you. You can see her. She's working on something down below the desk. And then we're going to fade to Felix. You are in behind the iron bars. Nani has fallen asleep. It's maybe been about an hour. And the same guard that brought you in comes in and stands by the cage that you guys are in and looks down at Nani sleeping, and he looks at you and he says, "Well, what were you thinking about walking in that water? You're lucky we found you, and they didn't go get that bastard that runs the place."
She just kind of nods her head but looks away from him. Doesn't give an answer.
He kind of stands up, straightens his back. And he says, "Well, what's wrong? There's something on your face, I can tell. You don't seem like to be the kind of person, being an elf and all, to go breaking the rules."
Perhaps being underground is making me a little crazy.
Right, that makes sense. Well, you know, there's other things you can do about that, instead of breaking the law.
Such as?
Well, haven't you heard of mountain excursions?
No.
Well, they pay you to go hunting. They take you up outside.
Outside. Her eyes kind of get a little brighter at the mention of the out.
Keep that in mind when you're paying your fine.
Yes.
Erilon. So you're out there, you tell this lady all the information. Do you tell her about the salt as well?
No.
No? Okay.
He seems like the guard seems to be laying on that. He's just shutting up about the salt. He has it in his backpack. That's about it.
Okay. So she takes it all in, takes the name. Do you give anybody else's names?
He does mention the Mentrady from the Gillen's Pious Plate, and also requests an inquiry as to their kitchen staff, one dwarf. And since I got a look at the dwarf, what color was his hair?
He was wearing a hat.
Hat?
Yeah.
Wearing a hat.
Roll history.
History?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, it's a little cocked from my hand.
I'll D4 it and see what it does. Yep. The 9. Oof.
You're not quite sure. You're not quite sure. It wasn't that significant
So
at that particular time.
he wasn't dark, or like I can't remember if he had dark or light hair. Not even specific, just like
It definitely wasn't light.
Definitely wasn't light.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't light.
Definitely wasn't light. He'll mark that down. He'll be as specific as he can be, and he will mention, how the manse was broken into previously, and not that somebody was kidnapped. But he will say that this was what happened. Somebody got their stuff stolen, and that we just need them. It was just like a eyewitness account, basically.
Oh, I appreciate you being so detailed in your report. In this, we'll see what we can do about it.
And oftentimes these things do take a bit of leeway, so I understand if it won't be resolved immediately. This is why I'm putting it in here. I did take one of the guards. He was generous enough to give me some of his time to the Gellon's Pious Plate, but nothing really came of it. So, figure this is the next best step. So, I do appreciate your time. He looks around, and he just kind of like looks around for a moment. All those doors at the back are closed. Yes.
Yep. But if you're going to leave, as you're going to leave, one of them does happen to open, and a guard is walking out. Roll perception, please.
Sure. Goes to turn to leave. The door opens. 15 on the dice. 19.
19. Fearless as well. Please roll perception.
25.
25. As the door opens, you guys lock eyes. You can see Galus back in behind bars, and you can see Erilon at the kiosk.
I hollered at him.
So what do you
What's
say?
her name?
He just looks.
The door shuts.
And that is where we will end for the evening. Thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This has been The Depths of Fel'Than, Episode 16, Love, Riddles, and Smooth Skin, Part A.